Thank you all very much for coming. Good evening. If I could, I'd like to start by asking Aaron Scott to join us up front. Aaron has graciously offered to sing the national anthem for us today. Aaron is the daughter of Dave and Jennifer Scott, and Dave is our master mechanic here at COMM Fire. Aaron.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you very much, Aaron. That was fantastic. While everyone's standing, I'd just like to ask Reverend Anthony to lead us in an opening prayer.
Welcome all. Almighty God, without whom nothing is strong, nothing is holy, increase and multiply upon us thy mercy, that with thou as our ruler and guide, we may so pass through things temporal, that we lose not the things eternal. And grant that having the eyes of our minds and hearts open to behold things invisible and unseen, we may in work be upheld by thy strength, and in the end be accepted of thee as thy faithful servants. Thanks be to our leaders and those whom we honor this day of recognition and empowerment, to whom we owe allegiance and our gratitude. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, Senator Sear, Representative Crocker, Barnstable Town Councilors, Prudential Committee members, fire commissioners, our partners in law enforcement, friends, and most of all, the members of COMM Fire and your families. I welcome you to our 5th annual recognition night. Thank you all so much for coming. It seems like yesterday that we proposed the idea of celebrating and recognizing our members' hard work and have that recognition ceremony coincide with the National Observance of Fire Prevention Week. As many of you probably know, National Fire Prevention Week commemorates the Great Chicago Fire. President Coolidge proclaimed the first National Fire Prevention Week on October 4th, 1925. He noted in the previous year some 15,000 lives were lost to fire in the United States. Calling the loss startling, Coolidge's proclamation stated, "It is highly desirable that every effort be made to reform the conditions which have possible so vast a destruction of the national wealth." Fast forward to 2018, and in the spirit of President Coolidge, our nationwide fire fatality rate has been reduced to less than 3,300. This is quite an improvement and quite an achievement. Supporting that theme, the mission statement of COMM Fire states that we are committed to provide the finest possible fire, rescue, and emergency medical services, whether routine or emergent, to all that reside in, work in, or visit the Centerville, Osterville, Marston's Mills Fire District. Our folks do that daily. As we begin tonight, I wanted to briefly talk about our Barnstable High School internship program. For many years now, COMM Fire has been graced with the presence of a Barnstable High School intern. Each year, our intern candidates have to compete, including successfully passing a panel interview for the opportunity to intern here at COMM. The intern program has been very successful at showing younger members of our community the roadmap that needs to be followed to become a member of the fire service. In addition, the intern process allows us to identify potential future employees, and we have hired 2 so far, and every one of our interns over the last 5 years has gone on to further their education in the fire service. This year, our intern purchased a suit for his interview and did a good deal of research to learn as much as possible about our department prior to interviewing. So tonight, I'm pleased to announce that our Barnstable High School intern is Tim Story. Tim, can you come up quick? Thanks, Tim. Yeah, you bet. Tim is a senior at Barnstable High School. Tim will also be here 5 days a week to participate in the duties of being a firefighter. From training and responses to chores and cooking, Tim is going to see every component of this vocation while completing his senior year in high school. Tim is from a proud family of Barnstable public servants, and we are very proud to have Tim join our family. Welcome aboard, Tim. Right. Thank you very much. Yep, you bet. As we move through this afternoon's program, I ask you to keep one of my favorite sayings about the fire service in your head, which is the best part of a firehouse is the firefighters inside. You will see exactly what this means and why as we move through our recognition ceremony. Our first order of business tonight is to formally swear in Lieutenant Patrick Hill to the position of Permanent Lieutenant. Yes, we swore him in as acting last year, but Pat is permanent now. He's fulfilled this role for COMM Fire for several years. Pat was first promoted to acting lieutenant in 2017 and permanent lieutenant this past spring. Pat brings unbridled enthusiasm and pride with him in his role as a lieutenant and is assigned to Group 2. I ask that Pat and his wife Meredith join us up here front, please. Pat? You get to do it again. I know you did it once before, but you get to do it. You can even symbolize it if you want to take it off. Pat, I need you to raise your right hand. I, Patrick Hill, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Massachusetts. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Meredith, I know we've done this, but we got to do it again, and we need to welcome everyone. COMM Fire Lieutenant Patrick Hill. Thank you, guys. I know it was a surprise, but thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm going to talk about year of service pins. Year of service pins are awarded each year by the Massachusetts Fire Service Commission. This year, COMM Fire, after working with the Fire Service Commission through the acceptance process, we're proudly recognizing the continued service of our employees. First up is our 20 Years of Service Award recipients, and I'd ask you to please hold your pause till we get done with each group. I'd like to call up for 20 Years of Service Award, firefighter Daniel Carpenter. Firefighter David Farola. Lieutenant Thomas Gooderl. Firefighter Thomas Long. Lieutenant Michael Miskiff. Captain Brian Morrison. Firefighter David Gelinas. your 20 years of service recipients. Congratulations, gentlemen, and thank you for your service. Our next award is our 25 Years of Service Award, and the recipients are Firefighter Sean Lehane, Lieutenant Daniel Osgood, Firefighter Andrew Reed. Firefighter Reed couldn't be here tonight. Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you for your years of service. Next, we go to our 30-year service award recipients. I'd like to call up Lieutenant Roger Alto, Fire Prevention Officer Michael Grossman, and Captain Sean Green. Congratulations, gentlemen, and thank you for your service. Then, if you can believe it, we're going to move to 35 years. So I'd call up for our 35-year service award recipients, Captain Richard Sargent, Firefighter Michael Simmons. Congratulations, gentlemen, and thank you for your service. And lastly, and incredibly, we get to our 40 Years of Service Award, which goes to Firefighter Charles Sneckloth. Congratulations, Chuck. Thanks for your service.
Stay right there for 1 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, this group that stands before you of COMM personnel represents 440 years of public service. Congratulations, and thank you all.
Thank you all for your service and for your genuine speech. Pretty crazy, 440 years service combined. On the morning of 27 January 2018, the Barnstable police were investigating a possible individual in distress in the area of Santuit Newtown Road in Marston's Mills. During the course of the investigation, and upon being located by investigating patrol officers, the individual ran out onto the frozen surface of Patty's Pond and made it halfway across the pond when the ice broke, casting the individual into the freezing water. The Barnstable police requested COMM Fire to immediately respond to the scene due to the person through the ice, and Group 4, led by Captain Thomas Burchell, Lieutenants Thomas Gooderl, Eric Bankston, and firefighters David Gelinas, Zachary Hunter, John McGonigal, Michael Perry, Charles Riley, Christopher Rogers, Jason Travis, and Ryan Scott responded immediately. Upon arrival, Captain Burchell observed the individual having fallen through the ice approximately 100 yards from shore. He also observed that the individual was struggling to stay afloat with their head slipping underwater multiple times. Burchell, via radio, transferred his role of incident commander and then declared over the same radio that he would be making a solo rescue effort because of the clear distress and peril that the individual was in. With no immediate backup and Barnstable police officer Tom Harmon tending his rope line, Captain Burchell donned a Mustang survival suit and began to make the arduous task of fording across 100 yards of fragile ice to make contact with the patient. The ice was weakened by a recent warm spell and was neither strong enough to walk on nor weak enough to break out of the way, and required Burchell to climb up onto it, allow the ice to break, plunge Burchell back into the water, only to repeat the entire process dozens of times until Burchell was able to advance closer to the patient. Once in contact with the patient, Burchell worked to keep the patient's head above water. During Burchell's effort, additional COMM Fire personnel from Group 4 arrived on scene and began to assist with the operation underway. Firefighter paramedic Michael Perry donned an exposure suit and swam through the path created by Burchell, reaching the patient a few minutes after. Members on shore began to prepare the rope retrieval system and the necessary medical equipment to now treat 3 patients, Burchell, Perry, and the original patient. The members of Group 4 met Burchell, Perry, and the patient at the shore and began immediate efforts to treat them all. The patient was hand-carried to a nearby ambulance for transport, while the other members aided their teammates, removing frozen exposure suits and treating them for hypothermia. The patient was subsequently transported to Cape Cod Hospital and survived the ordeal. Just this week, I received a letter from the distressed patient's family, which states, "On January 28th of this year, my wife suffered from an illness that resulted in her falling through the ice of a partially frozen pond. She was in the water for a considerable amount of time. Due to the location of the pond and the difficulty in accessing where she fell in, Dispatcher Lori Mode had the foresight to redirect Burchell and Group 4 to a desirable location to launch the rescue. It is a result of this quick thinking and extensive knowledge of the area on behalf of Ms. Mode, which changed what could have been a fatality to a life-saving situation. It is because of this, along with the professionalism and bravery of Captain Burchell, Group 4, and everyone involved, my wife is alive today and able to receive the treatment she needs to overcome her illness. For that, my family and I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you. No words can convey the amount of gratitude we feel. To all who made it possible for her to still be with us today, we will be eternally grateful." Teamwork was essential to that effort's success, and every member of COMM Fire Group 4 did their job. For that, I would like the following members of COMM Fire to come to the front of the room and receive commendation for their effort: Captain Thomas Burchell, Lieutenant Eric Bankston, Lieutenant Thomas Gooderl, Firefighter David Gelinas, Firefighter Zachary Hunter, Firefighter Jack McGonigal, Firefighter Michael Perry, Firefighter Charles Riley, Firefighter Chris Rogers, Firefighter Jason Travis, Firefighter Ryan Scott, and unfortunately for us tonight, Dispatcher Lori Moat is away at dispatch training and unable to join us, but sends her regards because Lori would receive a commendation as well. TJ, if I could have Captain Burchell step up front here. Thank you. When you guys get your certificates, if you could line up next to Captain Burchell, please. Yeah, fill back in another line if you want.
Tour of the dogs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group 4 COMM Fire. Thank you. I'm going to ask Group 4 to stand here right now because we're going to recognize Captain Burchell. Captain Burchell was the shift commander for Group 4 COMM Fire on 27 January 18. In the role as shift commander, he was responsible for 3 fire stations, 10 firefighters on duty, and the health and welfare of 26,000 residents. On arrival at Patty's Pond and following Dispatcher Moat's directions, Burchell observed the victim through the ice approximately 100 yards from shore. Burchell also observed that the individual struggling to stay afloat with her head slipping underwater multiple times. Burchell made the split-second selfless decision to initiate an ice rescue attempt by himself due to the severity of the situation and the clear peril the patient was in. After advancing closer to the patient inch by breaking ice, and despite being physically exhausted, Burchell was able to work with firefighter Perry to keep the patient's head above water while moving the patient onto an ice rescue board, and then working together, they floated the patient back to shore. The patient, as we know, was transported to Cape Cod Hospital and survived. It is without question, having observed the rescue effort firsthand, that Captain Thomas J. Burchell put himself in harm's way and peril to save the life of a woman destined to drown. Selflessly, and with the full knowledge there was no immediate backup, Burchell entered the frozen water and ice to save a stranger's life. It is for this reason I award the Centerville Osterville Marston's Mills Valor Pin to Captain Thomas Burchell to be worn prominently on his Class A uniform. At this time, I'd like to ask State Representative, I'm off key here, Senator and friend of COMM Fire Julian Sear to the podium, please.
No. And we'll do this together, so we'll get up here too. Thank you, folks. Captain, what we have for you, the Massachusetts legislature is the oldest continually serving democratically elected body in the world. The Brits thankfully had a civil war, so we are first. And so what Will and I both have are citations for Captain Burchell in recognition of this tremendously heroic act. And I'll read it through quickly, and then Will, you should jump in with yours, both from the State Senate and from the State House. So it's an official citation. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Captain Thomas J. Burchell in recognition of your heroic and selfless efforts to save a woman from drowning in the frozen waters of Patty's Pond. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate, attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate, signed by Karen E. Spilka, the President of the Senate, William F. Welch, the Clerk of the Senate, and offered by myself and Senator Vinnie DiMacedo today on October 15th, 2018. Thank you and congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Not to be outdone, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts House of Representatives hereby make it known that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Captain Thomas Burchell in recognition, again, of your heroic and selfless efforts to save a woman from drowning in the frozen waters of Patty's Pond. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortunes and continued success in all endeavors, given this 15th day of October 2018 at the State House in Boston, signed by the Speaker of the House, Robert DeLeo, signed and offered by myself, and with also congratulations from the entire Cape and Islands delegation of state representatives, David Vieira, Dylan Fernandez, Randy Hunt, Timothy Whalen, and Sarah Peak. Congratulations from the House.
Thank you, sir.
We'll do it together.
Next up, I have Town Council President Eric Steinhilber to present to Captain Burchell.
Lieutenant, I'm going to cast you. Hold on a second.
Thank you for having me here today. I'm going to read one of these commendations. Each one of these individuals will be receiving one, but I wanted to read this on behalf of the town. This is Town of Barnstable Town Council. With grateful appreciation for Captain Thomas Burchell, Ice Rescue, January 27, 2018, Centerville Osterville Marston's Mills Fire Department. Eric R. Steinhilber, President of the Barnstable Town Council. I'd like to present this to you, Captain. It's inscribed Captain Thomas Burchell, Ice Rescue, January 27th, 2018, with grateful appreciation, the Town of Barnstable, and the town seal is on the other side.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you all, and thank you for your service to our community and district. I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Thanks,
Take your seat. have to wait for the radio. Our next recognition is for the members of Group 1. April 12th, 2018 is a day that will never be forgotten on Cape Cod, as it was the day that Yarmouth police officer Sean Gannon was murdered. On that date, approximately 15:30 hours, COMM Fire was urgently requested to respond to 109 Blueberry Lane in Marston's Mills for a police officer down. As we all know, that police officer had been shot. COMM Fire, Group 1, led by Captain Rich Sargent and staffed by Lieutenants Christopher Adams, Eric Sabatinelli, and Enrique Arascaway, and firefighters Edward Dahlbeck, David Ferrola, Richard Anderson, Zachary Hunter, and Matthew Malone were on duty when that horrifying radio call was dispatched. All of them responded directly to the scene. Upon arrival, Group 1 was faced with the incredible circumstances of a police officer mortally injured, with the assailant still barricaded within the dwelling. Requesting mutual aid to cover all comm stations, the members of Group 1 not only treated and transported Officer Gannon, but also treated and transported several other law enforcement officers to Cape Cod Hospital. Group 1 remained on the scene throughout the evening, providing EMS coverage to dozens of responding police officers and tactical teams while supporting the dynamic investigation in any way possible. For their effort and for placing themselves in extreme danger, I would like the following members to come to the front of the room and receive a commendation for their teamwork. Captain Richard Sargent, Lieutenant Christopher Adams, Lieutenant Eric Sabatinelli, Lieutenant Enrique Arascaway, Lieutenant Jason Davern, Firefighter Richard Anderson, Firefighter Michael Carney, Firefighter Edward Dahlbeck, Firefighter David Ferrola, Firefighter Zachary Hunter, Firefighter Sean Lahane, Firefighter Tom Long, Firefighter Matthew Malone, Firefighter Scott Mullins, Firefighter Michael Simmons, Firefighter Adam Travers, Fire Prevention Officer Michael Grossman, and Dispatcher William Monroe. Could you guys please come up? You first, right here. Christopher. I'm going to borrow your combination. How you doing? Good. It's hot up here. Hey, Ray, get on the line. The commendation they're receiving states for your outstanding teamwork and dedication during the response for a fallen police officer, April 12, 2018 at 109 Blueberry Lane, Marston's Mills, Massachusetts. If I could, I would like to ask Dispatcher William Monroe to step forward. Is Mana here? Mana, did you make it? Okay, thank you. Emergency telecommunicators are the first point of contact during a crisis. Answering 911 calls while dispatching responding resources requires a unique blend of calm, poise, professionalism, and local knowledge. Using his instantly recognizable voice, COMM dispatcher William Monroe did just that on 12 April 2018 during the response for an officer down. Dispatcher Monroe handily and professionally coordinated the response of COMM Fire to that tragic event while coordinating mutual aid companies to other emergencies taking place within Senator Velasquez Marston's Mills at the same time. For his efforts on 12 April 2018, I award Dispatcher William Monroe the Senator Velasquez Marston's Mills Commendation Pin to be worn prominently on his Class A uniform. I'd like Fire Prevention Officer Michael Grossman to step forward. Fire Prevention Officer Michael Grossman responded to 109 Blueberry Lane on April 12, 2018. I'm asking Mike to step forward because one of the many tasks accomplished that day by him was to respond to Whiz Kids Preschool on Flint Street to make sure that children located 2 blocks from Blueberry Lane were safe. He made the wise recommendation to move the entire preschool out of the potential for harm and instead conduct its afternoon dismissal at our fire station number 3. That is simply good work. For that effort, I award Fire Prevention Officer Michael Grossman the Center of Velosterville Marston's Mills accommodation pin to be worn prominently on his Class A uniform. I'd like to ask Lieutenant Jason Davern, Lieutenant Enrique Rascoway, Firefighter Thomas Long, Firefighter Scott Mullen to please step forward. It's perfect time for the air compressor. Dave. COMM Fire EMS Officer Lieutenant Jason Davern and COMM Ambulance 326 crew Lieutenant Enrique Rascoway, Firefighter Thomas Long, and Firefighter Scott Mullen were on duty and picking up from a training exercise at Station 3 when the call for Officer Gannon was dispatched. Being just over a mile from the scene, their travel time took less than 3 minutes, and upon arrival, Lieutenant Davern, who arrived first, was faced with the tragic circumstances of a police officer and friend mortally injured from a gunshot wound, with the assailant still less than 10 feet away and unsecured. Requesting cover from the Barnstable police, Lieutenant Davern approached the fallen officer and began to render life-saving aid with no regard for his own personal safety. Having no protective ballistic gear available and only minimum EMS equipment, he attempted to remove Officer Gannon from the field of fire. Unable to move Officer Gannon by himself, Davern directed Ambulance 326 with Lieutenant Rascoway, Firefighters Long and Mullen to bring a backboard to the front of the dwelling and assist with removing Gannon from that area. The members of Ambulance 326 joined and supported his effort without hesitation. This action was one of the most courageous acts of selflessness and bravery that I have observed in my 27 years of public service. For that effort and for placing themselves in extreme danger, I award Lieutenant Jason Davern, Lieutenant Enrique Rascoway, Firefighter Thomas Long, and Firefighter Scott Mullen the Center of Velosterville Marston's Mills Valor pin to be worn prominently on your Class A uniforms. You guys took back too soon. Can I have you step back up quickly, the four of you? Do you mind? I appreciate it. I'm sorry. The thing about these guys is, like everyone here at COMM, they considered it doing their job. And I think that speaks volumes to the caliber of the people we have here. At this point, I'd like Senator Sear and Representative Crocker.
Thank you, Chief. So, gentlemen, we too have greetings and deep thanks from the Massachusetts Legislature on behalf of the Senate and on behalf of the House. And I will, they all say the same thing, so I'll read one. I don't know. So be it known, official citation, that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Lieutenant Rascoway, Lieutenant Danvers, Firefighter Long, and Firefighter Scott Mullen in recognition of your extreme bravery and valiant effort in administering medical treatment to Sergeant Gannon and removing him from the line of fire. And be it known further that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to in a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate, signed by Karen E. Spilka, President of the Senate, attested to by William F. Welch, the Clerk of the Senate, offered by myself, Julian Sear, and also signed by Senator Vinnie DiMacedo on today's date, October 15th. Thank you.
The Massachusetts House of Representatives also offers its sincerest thanks and honor for Lieutenant Jason Davern, Lieutenant Enrique Rascoway, Firefighter Thomas Long, and Firefighter Scott Mullen for your extreme bravery and valiant effort in administering medical treatment to Sergeant Gannon and removing him From the line of fire, the entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortunes and continued success in all endeavors. Again, signed on this date, the 15th of October, 2018, at the State House by Speaker DeLeo, offered by myself, and also by the members of the Cape and Islands delegation, State Representatives David Vieira, Dylan Fernandez, Randy Hunt, Timothy Whalen, and Sarah Peak. Thank you for your efforts.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Representative. I would next like to invite Eric Steinhilber, President of Barnstable Town Council, to the podium.
Thank you, Chief. As President of the Council, it's my honor to present these commendations on behalf of the town. You'll each receive one of these, and then I have these commendation medals as well. The Town of Barnstable Town Council, with grateful appreciation, and this one in particular is Captain Richard Sargent of April 12, 2018, Centerville, Austral, Marston's Mills Fire Department. Signed, Eric R. Steinhilber, President of the Barnstable Town Council. And I have these medals to present. Chief, could you? I'll just take one at a time.
Sure. That's fine. Yeah, we're going right there right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Group 1 COMM Fire. You can see.
Again, on behalf of the Town of Barnstable, it's my distinct honor as President to present this to the Centerville, Austral, Marston's Mills Fire Department for the incident on April 12, 2018, Sergeant Gannon, with grateful appreciation from the Town of Barnstable. So, teardrop, I'd like to present this to Chief Wynn on behalf of the COMM Fire Department.
Thank you very much. I'm compelled to offer in closing that none of these responses, I almost forgot, I'm so sorry, Chief Frederickson. I'm so sorry.
Good evening. I just have to say thank you. to all of you. I saw the toll it took on you. But we shouldered it together. We will always be there for you. In the community of Centerville, you too. Thank you.
In closing, I'm compelled to offer that none of these responses would have been possible without the talent of the entire COMM Fire Department. As I stated earlier, the best part of a firehouse is the firefighters inside. Tonight, you see why. Following our mission statement, we are committed to providing the finest possible fire, rescue, and emergency medical services to all that reside in, work in, or visit the Centerville, Osterville, Marston's Mills Fire Districts. Our folks do that daily, and all of you are deserving of our thanks and recognition. I am honored to work with you all. In closing, I wish to extend my many thanks here tonight to Senator Sear, Representative Crocker, our beloved town councilors, Reverend Anthony. Thank you for taking time to share this special night with us. Thank you to our incredible second floor staff who keep 1875 Falmouth Road moving in the right direction every day. Kathleen, Louise, Sandy, you guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you to Deputy Chief Byron Eldridge for your steadfast leadership and assistance. Thank you to our peer support group. You know who you are out there. Your mission has been invaluable to us, and I thank you all. Thank you to our Clerk, Treasurer, Prudential Committee, and Board of Fire Commissioners. We truly do appreciate your support and civic duty. To Chief Sonneven, Chief Frederickson, Lieutenant Colonel Chris Mason, Deputy Chief Steve Exaros, and all of our brothers and sisters in law enforcement. Both here in Barnstable and Yarmouth, we are one family. And I thank you all for the service you provide, the risks that you take, and for coming tonight. To the residents of our district, none of this would have been possible without your support. You have charged us with keeping you safe, and we will do our best. Thank you. And lastly, our families. I know firsthand that the events of the last 12 months have gone home with many of us. I offer my sincerest thanks to our families at home who have supported and loved us through these calls. I'd like to ask Reverend Anthony to offer a closing prayer.
Please remain seated. We'll pretend that we're all Presbyterians, okay? Under God's gracious mercy and protection, we commit you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you and give you peace, perseverance, the strength of your loyal character to God and humankind. And this we ask in the name of our Lord. Thank you.
That concludes our program tonight. Thank you all for coming, and please take a moment to congratulate our firefighters for their hard work and job well done. Thank you.